I watched him for 7 hours before I killed him. NVA officer, maybe a captain or major, judging by his uniform. Moving between bunkers in a base camp near the Laotian border. I had him in my scope a dozen times. Could have taken the shot any of those times. But I waited. Waited for the perfect moment. Waited until he stopped next to a lieutenant. Both of them looking at a map. 2 shots, 3 seconds apart. Both dead before the second one hit the ground. That's what people don't understand about sniping. It's not about shooting. Any grunt can shoot. Sniping is about waiting, about patience, about becoming so still, so invisible, so disconnected from yourself that you're just a pair of eyes and a trigger finger, about becoming something that isn't quite human anymore. My name is Sergeant Daniel Weaver. I'm 24 years old, from a town in Montana so small it doesn't show up on most maps. Population 300. My father taught me to hunt when I was 8. Deer, elk, whatever we could get. We needed the meat. You didn't take a shot unless you knew it was good. Ammunition cost money. Wounded animals ran. You learned patience. You learned to wait. I enlisted in 1964 before the draft got serious. Wanted to see the world. Wanted to do something besides ranch work and hunting seasons. The Army saw my scores at the range. Saw I was from Montana. Figured I could shoot. Sent me to sniper school at Fort Benning in 1965. They taught us the technical stuff. Ballistics, wind reading, range estimation. How to adjust for humidity, temperature, elevation. How to build hides. How to move without being seen. How to exfiltrate after a shot. Good training, important stuff. But they didn't teach us the hard parts. Didn't teach us what it does to your head, watching someone through a scope for hours before you kill them. Didn't teach us about the intimacy of it. About knowing your target better than you know your friends because you've watched him eat, laugh, smoke, live, and then you take all that away with one trigger pull. Didn't teach us that you stop seeing them as people, that you have to stop or you can't do the job. I shipped to Vietnam in January 1966, assigned to a sniper section attached to the 4th Infantry Division. My spotter was Corporal Jimmy Chen from San Francisco. Good kid, sharp eyes, steady hands. We worked well together. In war, that's all that matters. The M14 with the Redfield scope was my rifle. Not the best equipment. The Marines had better gear, but it worked. 700-yard effective range if you knew what you were doing. I knew what I was doing. By the time I'm telling this story, I've been in country 18 months. I've killed 63 men, 63 confirmed kills, each one through a scope, each one personal, each one someone I watched before I killed them. 63 faces I still see when I close my eyes. Sniping isn't like regular combat. In a firefight, everything is chaos, bullets flying, explosions, screaming, adrenaline. You shoot at movement, at muzzle flashes, at shadows. You don't think, you react. It's fast, violent, impersonal. Sniping is the opposite. It's slow, deliberate, intimate, personal. You study your target, learn their patterns. Watch them move through their day. See how they walk, how they hold their rifle, how they smoke their cigarettes. You watch them talk to their friends, watch them eat their meals, watch them exist, and then you kill them. My first confirmed kill was February 1966. VC squad leader operating near Pleiku. We'd set up in the tree line overlooking their camp. Been there for 2 days, barely moving, watching, learning the patterns, figuring out who was important. The squad leader was obvious. Older guy, maybe 40. Others deferred to him. He checked the sentries, organized work details, made decisions. He was the target. I watched him for 6 hours before he gave me the shot. Stepped out of a hooch, stood in the open, lit a cigarette. Chen called the wind. I adjusted for range, 350 yards. Steady breathing, slow squeeze. The rifle kicked. Through the scope, I saw the impact, center mass. He dropped like someone cut his strings, dead before he knew what happened. The camp erupted. People running, shouting, looking for the shooter. But we were gone. Moved out of the hide before they figured out where the shot came from. Standard procedure. 1 shot, 1 kill, exfiltrate. Chen was excited, kept talking about the shot, how clean it was. I didn't say much. Couldn't explain that I felt hollow. That watching a man for 6 hours and then killing him felt different than I expected. More personal, more real. That was the first one, the first face. After that, we worked constantly. VC officers, NVA commanders, anyone intelligence said was valuable. We'd get coordinates, set up, watch, wait, shoot. Sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. March, we spent 3 days watching an NVA captain. He was cautious, smart, rarely exposed himself. We waited. Watched him through rain, through night, through heat. On the 3rd day, he made a mistake. Stood up to adjust a radio antenna. 1 shot, 420 yards, clean kill. Chen and I developed a rhythm. He'd spot, call adjustments, watch for threats. I'd shoot. We didn't talk much in the hides. Didn't need to. Communication was minimal, professional. You couldn't afford emotion. Couldn't afford to think about what you were doing. You had to become mechanical, a tool, eyes and trigger finger and nothing else. April, we got assigned a priority target. NVA colonel running operations out of a village near the border. High value. They wanted him gone. We infiltrated, set up 800 yards out, waited for 2 days. When he finally appeared, the shot was difficult. Wind gusting, heat, shimmer, distance. Chen called it perfect. I trusted him. Held for wind, elevated for drop, squeezed. The bullet took longer to arrive at that distance. I watched through the scope as the colonel stood there, alive, unaware. Then impact. He crumpled, dead. His men scattered. We stayed in position, unmoving. 4 hours later, we slipped away. 63 times I did this. 63 men I watched, studied, learned, and killed. Each one added to the collection in my head. The faces, the moments before they died, the way they fell. People think sniping is cold, impersonal, shooting from distance, never seeing your enemy up close. They're wrong. It's the most intimate killing there is. When you watch a man through a scope for hours, you learn him. You see things his friends probably don't notice. The way he scratches his neck, the way he adjusts his rifle sling, how he smiles at jokes, whether he's left-handed or right-handed, whether he's tired or alert. You see him live, then you take that away. May 1966. We were assigned to eliminate VC tax collectors operating in a village near Ankei. Intelligence said they were extorting farmers, killing anyone who refused to pay. They wanted them gone. We set up in the hills overlooking the village. 3 targets. We'd take them one at a time over 3 days to avoid suspicion. The first target, I watched him for 14 hours. Young guy, maybe 25. He moved through the village like he owned it, intimidating farmers, taking food, acting tough with his AK slung over his shoulder. But I also watched him play with a kid, toss a ball back and forth. Watched him laugh. Watched him share his rice with an old woman. Watched him be human. Then I killed him. 400-yard shot, clean. He was laughing at something when the bullet hit. The laugh died with him. I thought about that for days. The kid playing with a ball. The old woman. The laugh that stopped. Chen never talked about targets like that. He'd spot them, call them by descriptors. Target in the blue shirt. Target by the well. Target carrying the radio. Never used names even when we knew them. Never discussed what we saw through the scope. Smart, healthier that way, but I couldn't help it. Couldn't not see them. Couldn't not learn them before I killed them. June. We eliminated an NVA sniper who'd been causing problems for our forces. Counter-sniper work. The most dangerous assignment. He was good. 3 American soldiers dead, several wounded. They wanted him stopped. We tracked him for a week. He was careful, professional, skilled. I studied his patterns through the scope, learned how he moved, how he thought, respected him in a way I didn't respect the others. When I finally got the shot, it felt different. Not like executing a target, like a duel. He'd killed our guys. I killed him. Professional, clean, necessary. But I still watched him die through the scope, watched the life leave him, added his face to the collection. July, target was an NVA officer running supplies down the Ho Chi Minh Trail. We set up on an overlook, waited for 3 days. When he finally appeared, he was reading a letter, smiling. Something from home, probably. Family. I shot him while he was reading. Didn't wait for him to finish. Couldn't afford to. The window was closing. Through the scope, I saw the letter fall from his hands. Watched it flutter to the ground. Watched him follow it down. I thought about that letter. Who wrote it? What it said. Whether his family would ever know he died reading it. That's the intimacy. Not just killing them. Killing them in specific moments. Taking them out of the middle of their lives. While they're laughing, reading, playing, eating, living, you become the most important thing in their life at the moment they die. They don't know it, don't know you exist, but you know them. You've watched them, studied them, chosen the moment. Then you pull the trigger and remove them from existence. Personal doesn't begin to describe it. August 1966. Something changed. I stopped seeing them as people, not all at once, gradual but definite. The faces started blurring together. The details stopped mattering. They became targets, objects, problems to solve. Range, wind, elevation, just math, just mechanics. Chen noticed, asked if I was okay. I said yes. He didn't believe me but didn't push it. The shooting got easier, cleaner, more efficient. I could watch a target for hours without thinking about who they were, could kill them without hesitation, without feeling, without anything. September, we eliminated 9 targets in 2 weeks, high operational tempo. Command was happy with our results. Chen and I worked like a machine. Spot, calculate, shoot, exfiltrate, repeat. I was good at it. Better than good. The best in the battalion. They started requesting me specifically for difficult targets. High value, long range, bad conditions. I never missed. October, they assigned us a target that intelligence said was a political officer. Propaganda guy, not a fighter. But he was effective, they said. Good speaker. Motivated the troops, kept morale high. They wanted him gone. We watched him for 5 hours. He spent most of the time talking to soldiers, making them laugh, boosting their spirits. He was good at it, charismatic. The men clearly liked him. He wasn't armed, wasn't a threat, but he was the target. So I shot him, 300 yards, center mass. He died talking. Didn't bother me, should have, killing an unarmed political officer, but it didn't. He was a target. Targets get eliminated. That's the job. Chen didn't say anything. We exfiltrated as usual. Mission complete. That night, back at base, I realized I couldn't remember his face. Couldn't picture it. I'd watched him for 5 hours, killed him, and 8 hours later he was gone from memory. Erased. Like he never existed. I tried to remember, couldn't. He was just target number 47. Nothing more. That's when I knew I'd changed, that something fundamental had broken or evolved or transformed. I was still me, Daniel Weaver from Montana, 24 years old, good at hunting. But I was also something else, something that could watch a man laugh and then kill him and not remember his face 8 hours later. Something that wasn't quite human anymore. November, we got assigned to eliminate a medic, NVA medic treating wounded soldiers. Normally, medics were off limits, Geneva Convention, rules of war. But this one was also gathering intelligence, Command said. Legitimate target. We watched him for 6 hours, saw him treat wounded, saw him save lives. Then I shot him. 450 yards, kill shot. I felt nothing. He was target number 53. Just another number, just another shot. December, Chen got rotated home. Tour was up. They assigned me a new spotter, kid named Rodriguez from Texas. Green, nervous, talked too much. I broke him in quick, taught him to be quiet, to watch, to calculate, to not think about the targets as people. By January 1967, Rodriguez was good, professional, mechanical, like me. We eliminated 12 targets that month. Clean work, efficient. Command was pleased. I was empty. March 1967. The shot that made me see what I'd become. NVA, Colonel, high-value target. Intelligence said he was planning a major offensive. Command wanted him eliminated. Priority 1. We infiltrated his area of operations. Set up in dense jungle, 850 yards from his command bunker. Difficult hide, difficult angle, difficult shot. We watched him for 3 days. He was careful, smart, rarely exposed. Professional soldier, experienced. I respected that in an abstract way. On the 3rd day, he emerged from the bunker with a lieutenant. They stood in the open looking at a map, both exposed, both vulnerable. The shot was perfect, everything aligned. Wind was good, light was good, range was confirmed. I had them both. Rodriguez called it. 2 targets, both in the open. Wind 2 miles per hour, left to right. Distance 850, clear shot. I centered the crosshairs on the colonel's chest. Controlled breathing. Slow squeeze. The rifle kicked. Through the scope, I watched the bullet impact. Center mass. The colonel dropped. The lieutenant looked down, confused. He had maybe 2 seconds of life left. I worked the bolt. Acquired the lieutenant. Adjusted slightly. Squeezed. Second impact. He dropped next to the colonel. Both dead. Both killed in less than 5 seconds. Perfect shot. Perfect execution. Textbook sniper work. We exfiltrated. Made it back to base that night. Command was ecstatic. High-value target eliminated, bonus kill on the lieutenant. Mission success. They put me up for a commendation. That night, I lay in my bunk and tried to remember their faces. The colonel, the lieutenant. I'd watched them for 3 days, 72 hours of observation, learning their patterns, their behaviors, their lives. Couldn't remember their faces. They were gone, erased. Just target 62 and 63, just numbers. That's when I understood what I'd become. Not a soldier, not a marksman, something else. Something that could kill with perfect precision and feel nothing. Remember nothing. Be nothing. A tool, just eyes and a trigger finger. No empathy, no remorse, no connection to the act of killing. Perfect in execution, empty in everything else. I tried to feel something, guilt, regret, horror, anything. But there was nothing, just emptiness. Just the knowledge that I'd killed 63 men and couldn't remember most of their faces. That I'd become so good at killing that I'd stopped being human in the process. The perfect sniper, the perfect tool, the perfect machine. But not a person anymore. Not really. Just a collection of skills wrapped around a void where empathy used to be. That night, I requested early rotation. Command denied it. They needed me. I was too valuable, too effective, too good at my job. So I kept doing it, kept watching, kept waiting, kept killing, kept being perfect, kept being empty, kept being nothing. It's May 1967 now. I'm still in country, still shooting. 78 confirmed kills, 78 men I watched and killed, 78 faces I should remember but mostly don't. I rotate home in August, 4 more months, 120 days. They'll pin medals on me, send me back to Montana, thank me for my service. Then what? Who am I when I'm not a sniper? What do I do when there are no targets to watch, no shots to take, no killing to perfect? I don't know how to be a person anymore. Don't know how to connect to people, care about people, see people as anything other than potential targets. Distance, wind, elevation. That's how I see the world now. My father wrote me last month. Asked about hunting season when I get back. Said the deer are plentiful this year. Said we'd go out like old times. I can't imagine it. Hunting for food feels absurd, meaningless. What's the point of killing a deer? It's not a threat, not a target, just an animal. I've killed men for less reason than food. Killed them because intelligence said they were important. Killed them for being in the wrong place. Killed them for wearing the wrong uniform. How do I go back to hunting deer like it matters? Rodriguez is different. He talks about home, about his girl, his family, his plans after the war. He can still imagine a future, still see himself as someone other than a sniper. I can't. When I try to picture myself in Montana, in civilian clothes, doing civilian things, the image won't form. All I see is the scope, the crosshairs, the waiting. I'm good at this, better than anything else I've ever done. I have purpose here, value. I save American lives by killing the enemy efficiently. I'm effective, important. What am I back home? Just another veteran with skills nobody needs. Nobody wants a professional killer in peacetime. They want the skills gone, want you to pretend you never had them, want you to be normal again. But I can't be normal. Normal people don't watch someone for 3 days and then kill them without feeling anything. Normal people don't have 78 faces they should remember, but don't. Normal people aren't hollow inside, filled with nothing but crosshairs and calculations. Sometimes I wonder if I should remember them. The targets, the faces. Maybe if I could remember them, I'd feel guilty. If I felt guilty, maybe I'd feel something. And if I felt something, maybe I'd still be human. But I don't remember, don't feel guilty, don't feel anything. I'm just empty, just mechanical, just a tool that happens to look like a person. Last week, we eliminated 2 targets. VC officers operating near Quantum. Standard assignment. I watched them for 8 hours, killed them both, exfiltrated. Clean work, professional. Rodriguez asked me afterward how I did it, how I stayed so calm, how I could watch them and then kill them without hesitation. I told him the truth. They're not people. They're targets. You watch them to learn the patterns, to find the shot. But they're not people. Can't be. He nodded like he understood. But he still sees them as people, still thinks about them after, still remembers their faces. He's still human, still connected to the act of killing. I envy that. I don't remember what it feels like. 4 more months, and I rotate home. Back to Montana. Back to a world where killing isn't the measure of value. Back to being just Daniel Weaver, veteran, nobody special. Except I'm not Daniel Weaver anymore. That kid from Montana who hunted deer with his father, he's gone. Died somewhere between the first kill and the 63rd. Died watching men through a scope until they stopped being men and became targets. What's left is something else. Something perfect in execution but empty in everything else. Something that can kill with precision but can't remember faces. Can't feel guilt, can't feel anything. We never came back. Not really. The snipers who watched and waited and killed with perfect precision. We stayed in the hides. Stayed behind the scope. Stayed in that mechanical, disconnected space where humans become targets and killing becomes mathematics. I'm 24 years old. I'm one of the best snipers in Vietnam. I've killed 78 men with perfect precision, and I can't remember their faces, can't feel anything about them. Can't connect to the act of killing anymore. I'm perfect at my job, and I'm hollow where my humanity used to be. The perfect sniper, the perfect tool, the perfect machine. Just not a person anymore. I watched him for 7 hours before I killed him. And I can't remember his face, can't remember any of their faces. Just crosshairs, just calculations, just empty. That's what perfection costs. That's what waiting for the perfect shot does to you. You become perfect, and you stop being human, and you can't get it back. Can't remember what it felt like to see people as people instead of targets. Can't reverse what you've become. 4 more months. Then I go home to a world where I don't fit, don't belong, can't function. Because you can't take a tool designed for killing and expect it to build anything. You can't take someone who's become nothing but eyes and a trigger finger and expect them to be a person again. I'm going home in August. But I'm not going home. Not really. I'm staying here, in the hide, behind the scope, watching, waiting, calculating, empty, perfect, gone. That's what the perfect shot cost me. Everything that made me human, and I can't even remember what I lost.